Hot. You let folks. Oh, what's good, bro? First dude on the call. What's good, man? I just got some guys here looking at doing this tile job, and they're upstairs now trying to get me a quote so they can take care of the tile upstairs for the master bathroom. I'm trying to find I don't have no chairs in here, so I can't sit down. I'm trying to find a spot to post up so I can talk. But yeah, man, what's good? I know you, Josh, I know you've been trying to get into the mix for a little bit and been asking a lot of questions and stuff, offline. I guess you can kind of start it off, or you want to wait a little bit. You let me know the floor is yours for whatever whatever you want. Whatever you want to ask, you can definitely ask me. Oh, don't they do like I learned last night you can share share your screen on IG Live. If you want to hop on, you can definitely hop on. You could ask me any questions you have. I'm going to do my best to answer it. I'm going to give a disclaimer right now. Here it is. Let's see if it goes through. Hey, Jerome.
What up?
What up, man? How you living?
Good.
You guys good?
Say what?
No, I'm talking to these guys. They're giving me quotes on the master bathroom because they're supposed to be doing the tile in here. So I'm letting them walk through and kind of figure out what's good. But yeah, man, I guess you're the first person. I'm trying to find a spot to post up in here, man. But yeah, basically you're the first person. What I wanted to do is say, you can pretty much ask me any type of questions you want. I am going to give this disclaimer. It's the first time I'm doing this. I am not a guru. So I'm just trying to answer as many questions as I can about as much knowledge as I can. If I don't know the answer, and I'm not, I'll tell you I don't know the answer. But based off my experience, I should be able to answer most questions. So yeah, ask away, fire away. I don't care what you ask me. Anything, if you want to get into real estate, if you're already in it, you can ask me anything. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, I have two questions for you. And I guess I'll just start off with what everybody else is wondering. If this is my first time doing, if I'm interested in buying a house and this is my first time, looking to buy a house, what are the things that I need? And what are like banks looking for when I apply for a loan? Because I imagine that's the first stop, seeing how much I can get pre-approved for. So, what are some things that the banks are looking at?
First of all, your banks are going to be looking at your credit. That's a big thing. It's a combination of a couple things, right? Banks are going to be looking at your credit, right? Your credit history. They're going to be looking at how much money you have in the bank. They're going to be looking at your debt to income ratio, right? How much debt do you have? How much debt is going against like your income, right? So if you have, if you're making $60,000 a year and you got like $20,000 in debt and you're paying X amount of dollars a month in debt toward that 20K, man, that's going to eat a lot of that's going to eat a lot of your income. So they look at that. What else do they look for? Are you employed? They look for W-2s, right? W-2s reign king. So if you have like if you have a job, I'd say that you're in a better position than like a guy like me, right? I am a 1099 guy, right? So banks are going to look at me and look at risk automatically, unless I have a business that I've been operating for at least 2 years. It's kind of like the standard when you're talking about banks lending to you. Banks lending to you, they want to see that you have a W-2, and if you're not and you're 1099, they want to see that you have at least 2 years of work experience running your business, right? And they want to see that you also have a good track record of income for that business. So that's one thing, but that's 1099, of course, right? But obviously, if you have a W-2 and you do have money, you're bringing in money via a job, then yeah, that's something that plays a big part in their deciding factor of whether they're going to lend to you or not. One key thing is before, so those are three things, right? Your credit history, W-2, and how much money do you have, and debt to income ratio, right? Those couple of things. So it's not just three. The main thing when it comes to your bank statements, they also want to see your banking history, right? So your accounts. This is important, right? So if you're looking to buy a house, the banks, and you're using a bank loan, the banks are going to say, hey, Josh, we need to see 90 days worth of bank statements for the account or the accounts that you're going to be using associated with the purchase of the property. So whatever account you're going to be pulling money for to buy this house, to pay for the down payment or anything like that, they're going to want to see at least 90 days of statement history. So that means that when they look up that statement history, they're looking at everything that you've basically bought over the last 90 days. And what they're looking for is they want to see trends. They want to see how you spend your money, right? How is this dude spending his bread? Is he reckless? Is he conservative? Is he always making transfers between accounts? One big thing that could get you hemmed up is if you overdraft a lot, right? So if you overdraft, that's not a good sign for the bank, right? And in my experience, I didn't prepare before I started buying, when I looked at buying my first house. So when I gave them 90 days worth of bank statements, I ain't gonna lie, shit, I overdrafted a couple of times, not like intentionally, but you know how shit goes, right? You know how it goes, the checking account, something pops up or you spend something, you miscalculated what's in your account, and then you overdraft it. You figure no big deal, but to the bank, that's a big deal. And so what other folks will advise is that if you're looking at buying a house, prepare early. So start managing your account a little bit better a couple months before you actually apply for that loan, because what they're going to do is they're going to take those statement histories and comb through it. And if you do have overdrafts or you're sending large amounts of money into from one account to the other, they're going to want you to explain that. So if you overdrafted, they're going to say, hey, Josh, we need a letter dated, signed, stating for each overdraft why you overdraft and why it won't happen again.
Got it.
That kind of stuff. So you got to prepare your accounts months in advance. So when you do give them your bank statements, your banking history over the last 90 days is clean. If it's dirty, I'd suggest waiting a couple months and then giving them the banking history, and then looking at trying to clean up your stuff, so that way you're not going through the hassle of trying to explain why you overdrafted this day or why you know, you didn't have money in your account that day.
Okay, got you. And then my second question is, can
What's
you
up,
explain,
everybody?
can you explain what a FHA loan is and what it covers?
Yeah, so FHA loan is basically, and I think Danielle's on the line because she's an agent. I get them mixed up between VA loans and FHA loans. One is insured and one is like federally backed or something like that. But anyway, FHA loan is basically one of the, it's a loan that was created to help people that have lower incomes and make it buy houses, right? So it's a loan that enables folks that have not the greatest credit score or not the most amount of money in the bank to buy houses, right? And it basically was put into place to help stimulate and get more people to buy, right? Because you know, you don't have to have a 700 credit score to buy a house. Not everybody does, right? And all the bank products were centered around 700 credit scores. There'd be a lot of people that's not buying. So I think with the FHA loan, it's I can't remember the minimum requirements, but I think you can get an FHA loan for like a 620 credit score, 640 or something like that. And so it's a lower interest rate, lower down payment rate, so it makes it affordable to buy a house, right? So I think it's like 3.5% interest, and then or it's either interest or down payment. All around cheaper loan to get. It's the best product, I think, for folks that are buying their first house. Not only is it a cheaper option loan wise, but it also comes with the potential to have what is called a 203K loan wrapped into that loan. And the 203K loan is a renovation loan, right? And so what happens is if you have a house that you want to buy for $100,000 and you want to put 20K into it, or you know, it requires 20K worth of work, you can go the option of saying, hey, I want to look into 203K loan, and the bank is going to say, okay, cool. They're going to give you that loan, right? And they're going to say, hey, you can put this 20K toward this house as long as you use a licensed contractor that we have to vet and that we have to, you know, send a lot of paperwork between me and the contractor. And then they're going to give you the 20K to basically renovate the house. Now that 20K, the flip side is if the house is worth $100,000 and you spend $20,000 in 203K money, that 20K gets tacked onto the purchase price. So instead of you paying a mortgage for a house that's $100,000, you're now paying for a mortgage that's $120,000. So that,
And I also have to apply for that 203K loan also, right?
yeah.
It's not, it doesn't fall under, like automatically fall under the FHA loan.
Don't quote me on it because I'm not a banker, but it should, the option should be available. The reason why is because if you're using an FHA loan, a lot of the houses you're buying, some are not going to be in the greatest condition, and that's why it incentivizes people to buy properties that are not exactly turnkey. Now, the difference, instead of like looking at it from an investment property, is that the loan is actually for you to live in. You know, live in the house. It's meant for you to get the loan, do whatever you got to do to renovate the house, and live there. FHA requires you to live in the house for 1 year, so it has to be your primary residence. So basically, it incentivizes you to want to find a house that you can live in, fix it up, and then obviously move in when you're done and live there for however long you're gonna live there. You're only required to have it claimed as your primary residence for 1 year. After that first year, you can pretty much do whatever. You can move out, rent it out, whatever you're gonna do. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And does that 203K loan have its own interest, or would the interest be the same as the FHA loan?
No. So the 203K. So don't look at it as a loan. I know it says 203K loan, but look at it like renovation. Yeah, it's a loan, but it's not a loan that comes with its own interest rate. It's basically money allocated for renovation costs. So whatever interest rate you have for the original loan, that's it, right? The 203K money is just renovation money. That's it. And whatever the total cost of it, it gets tacked onto the back end of the purchase price. You get what I'm saying? So if you buy $100,000 house and you put 20K into it using a 203K loan, now your house is $120,000. Instead of you paying $100,000 mortgage, you're paying for a $120,000 mortgage every month.
All right. Well, hey, man, you answered my question, so thank you so much.
Appreciate it, man. I'll let me, if you got any other, I'm probably going to, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this. I don't know. I'll probably do it just because folks got questions all the time. So I'll, allocate some time probably like on Fridays or something like that. I don't know. I'll figure out what it is. But if anybody else got any questions, definitely feel free to ask. Appreciate you stopping by, though. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you stopping by, brother. But yeah, you guys can, that was Josh. He just asked a question about FHA loans and how do they work, and kind of like the ins and outs about those kind of loan products. But other than that, yeah, I'm on live right now. You can basically ask me any questions you have about real estate. I'll try to answer them as best I can. How does hard money work as far as installment payments? So, who is that? Steady clocking. Oh yeah, what's good, Brody? So hold on. Before I answer your question, I'll make sure these contractors are good. Yo, y'all good? Okay. Are y'all just y'all up?
Okay.
Oh, you good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, it's okay.
Oh, okay. I'm still on call. So yeah, about hard money installments. So when it comes to hard money, so what typically happens is, you apply for this loan, they're gonna lend to you, give you the renovation, they're gonna lend to you for the purchase price and all that kind of stuff, right? As far as the installment payments, are you talking about the draw money for the actual renovation, or are you talking about the interest payments every month? And you can definitely hop on. I just found out that you can join people's lives, which I didn't know you could do because I don't ever be on here. But yeah, you can join. Let me see. Send me a request if you can. Interest. Oh, the interest payments. So every month. So unlike a mortgage where you're paying toward the property every month. The mortgage payments going. Huh? You good?
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I put it the test for pressure, everything. Okay.
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 I can send you all the square footages and then the breakdown.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm willing to pay. You give me the cost. We can negotiate. If we're good to go, then we can get you in here.
I put the pressure for the 2 bedroom. For this, and
For the 4 year.
Yeah, for the door.
Sounds good. And then up here, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, brother. Talk to you later. Okay, so the interest payments. So yeah, every month what you're doing is instead of putting money toward the mortgage of the house, you're paying interest on the loan of the property. So hard money is just bridge money, right? And so what they allow you to do is purchase the house, and while you're renovating the house, you're paying the interest of the loan every single month. So whatever the percentage is, like 12% or 10% or 9% of that loan is what you're actually going to be paying. So you're not putting money toward the actual. Hold on. I think I can send you a request. Oh damn, it was letting me do it before. But anyway, you're not putting, when you pay that interest every month for that hard money loan, because a hard money loan is nothing but a temporary loan, right? When you're paying the interest for that loan every single month toward that property, you're not actually paying down the mortgage of the property. Oh, there it is. I think, yeah, should let you have now. Yeah, okay, there it is.
What's up, good brother?
Yo, what's up, bro?
Yeah, appreciate the gems. I'm listening. I'm tuned in.
Oh yeah. So yeah, like when you're making those payments every month, it's not going toward the equity of the property. It's going straight to the hard money lender's pockets. So that's like, and again, hard money is just bridge money. It's temporary bread. So that's why it's important to get in and out of the deal as quickly as possible. So
So is it
depending,
also, so do you also want to try to get more money so that way you have money to pay them back for the bread, like for that?
okay, so I'll explain exactly, like I'll explain the process. So let's say I want to buy a house, right? I want to buy an investment property, and I want to um, let's see, let's say I want to flip it, right? So let's say I want to flip a house. This is the easiest scenario. Let's say the house costs $100,000, and I want to put $50,000 into it, right? So the total loan cost is $150,000. What I'm then going to do is go to the hard money lender. They're going to say, hey, we're going to lend to you 12% and 2 points, right? Cool, whatever. So basically, every month, I'm going to be paying 12% interest on that loan every month to them, not the bank, not toward the equity of the house, to them. Doesn't go anywhere, right? I'm going to get that. They're going to fund the purchase of the house. I'm going to come to the closing table with the closing costs. So typically, the hard money lender funds the purchase. You come to the table with closing costs. So when you
And
close,
they'll fund about 70% of the purchase price, something like
right,
that.
depending on who it is, it could be 70, sometimes 90, whatever it is, right? Whoever lender you go to, they all are different. You come to the closing, you come to the title company to closing with just closing bread. Once you close, every month that you are in that loan, you're paying the interest on the interest on that loan. So while you're renovating it and doing things like that, utilizing the draw system, you're paying the interest on that property. And let's say if you're doing a flip, I mean, that eats into your profits depending on how long you're in the deal. So that's why if you're using hard money, you try to get in and get out. You try to get in, renovate it really quickly, and get out, because you're paying interest on that loan. You're paying a high interest rate. 12% is a lot. And depending on if you are a rookie or if you're a seasoned investor, your rates are going to be different. So whereas like me, I got a track record where I've renovated some houses, I'm less riskier than if if they're lending to somebody that hasn't done any deals. So my interest rate might be like 8, 9%, whereas somebody else's interest rate might be 12 to 15%, right? And so if you're paying 12, 15% every month, that's a lot of money, and it's not going toward the property. It's basically money you're paying to borrow that money to renovate that house. That's the cost of using bridge money, the interest rates. And that's why a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people shy away from hard money, is because you're paying such an exorbitant amount of money on interest every single month, and it's not going anywhere. But again, it's the cost of using bridge money. It's to get you from point A to point B. You get what I'm saying? Did we freeze? Uh-oh. We got some. Then we got some technical difficulties. Might have froze. But yeah, so just to continue, what's up, Quan? I see need enough equity. Oh, there you go. You had froze. Go ahead.
I had just jumped out to just do a quick calculation of 150 grand times point 12.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So
Did I?
yeah,
I ain't
yeah,
good at math. I'm not good at math.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
over 15 grand a month?
No, 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 no. It's the interest. So like for example, I have a like on my interest payments like every month. So for on my interest payments every month for a particular loan, I might be paying like 900, eight. I may be paying anywhere between 700 and 900 dollars a month in interest.
Right, right, right. Okay.
So yeah, on each month, I might be paying anywhere between $700 and $900 a month in just interest payments. And so, if my loan is like $100,000, right? I might be paying $1,000 every month in interest payments.
Got you.
Right? If I'm paying like 900, if the purchase price is like $90,000 total, then I might be paying $900 a month in interest payments. So it's just like a mortgage. Instead of it going to the actual property, it's going straight to the hard money lender's pocket. You get what I'm saying? Just look at it like a mortgage payment, except it's interest, and it's just going strictly to the hard money guy's pocket, man.
You try to get out of there in what, maybe some of these projects like 6 months?
Try to get out as soon as you can, right? So
that's
like,
a long time. Yeah.
I'll give you an example, right? Because you can use hard money to flip or rent, and both exit strategies are different because it's a short-term loan. It's not like a 30-year product where you can get into the loan and stay in it and not do anything. You have to get out of it. So when you flip and you use hard money, how do you get out of that loan? You sell the house, right? You make the profit back, you pay the hard money guy back, right? If you're renting, how do you get out of that loan? You refinance it, and the bank you pull all that money back out of the deal, you pay your hard money guy, and then you refinance into a long-term loan with a bank, right? So
the time that it's on the market before it's actually rented, you're still paying for the sourcing.
Yep, and you have to include that in your deal analysis when you're looking at properties. How long do I think that I can spend renovating this house, right? Do I have the right crew? Have I ever done this before? Typically, hard money loans can last up for flips are typically like a year, right? And sometimes they're either between 6 months and a year. So a lender might say, hey, if you're going to flip this house, we're going to give you this money at this interest rate with these points. The term is 12 months. You have 12 months to get in and out of that deal. Buy it, renovate it, sell it, and get them their money back. Some cases they say 6 months. So for me, I don't flip. I've done some flips. I don't necessarily flip, right? But what I do is I do the buy and holds. And so buy and holds are not like flipping. They say, hey, you got 6 months, right, to give me my money back. So I'll go in, I'll renovate, and throughout those 6 months, I'm paying interest payments, and sometimes the interest payments are more. People keep calling me, sorry. Sometimes those interest payments are more than what the actual mortgage would be, right? So if my interest payments is $1,000, and I know that once I refinance, I could potentially be paying $800, I need to hurry up and get out of that loan because I'm spending an extra $200 a month. You get what I'm saying? So that's why it's important to, if you're using hard money, get in and out of the deal as quickly as possible because you're paying that interest every month, and it's not going toward equity.
So how do you fund that? Is that just from your own personal credits? I mean, I know sometimes if you got private money, like you said, the deal analysis, you could try to roll that into it.
You include that, and you include that in your analysis. So your renovation costs does include or should include, whatever potential interest payments you plan on paying each month. Right, so cool. You plan for 6 months of renovation costs. You're basically, you roll that into it. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So yeah.
And then as far as the draw payments that they give you, is that after you pull permits? Like, how much do they need to see before they like, all right, let's cut this man another check for the next portion?
So the draw system works like this. So this is why with hard money, it's important to have, like, one of the main key things they look for is money in the bank, right? You got to have skin in the game because the draw system is not so much like, and it's not so much like you get this bread and you renovate it. No, you got to come out of pocket first. Then we go give you the bread. So the draw system, if you got a $50,000, if you plan on renovating $50,000 worth, if you plan on using $50,000 to renovate a house, the draw system works like this. They can break that $50,000 up however many times you want to. So let's say, for example, we want to break that $50,000 up into 5 installments. So that's $10,000, $10,000, $10,000, $10,000, $10,000. That first $10,000 is coming out of your pocket. So you have to spend $10,000 worth of your own money to renovate the house. To start the renovation. And you're going to do $10,000 worth of work out of your own pocket. Once you're done, or once you hit that checkpoint where you hit $10,000 and you've done some work, You call your hard money guy, you say, hey, I'm ready for my first installment. What they're going to typically do, if they're a good lender, they're going to come out and they're going to verify that you did $10,000 worth of work. And most of the time, they're going to come and see, oh, they just want to see that you're doing work, right? And you come in and say, oh, okay, yeah, he did this, they did that. Sometimes they might ask for like sometimes what they might ask for is a breakdown of what you spent. And they're going to come in, they're going to walk around, check and make sure, hey, okay, yeah, he's actually started doing some work. Okay, cool. And then the money's going to be wired to your account the next day. So
Materials and labor, what you spent.
Yeah, like whatever you spend the money on, it's up to you, right?
Yeah.
So as long as you can show that you spent $10,000, they're not going to ask for receipts, but they're going to ask for what's it called? They're going to ask for like a breakdown of like what that $10,000 went to. So you say, hey, $2,000 went to demolition, and $1,500 went to framing, and and so on and so forth. And X amount went to material.
For the most part, the people that's on your team, you're paying them throughout the way. You're not telling them, hey, wait for me to get this draw and I'll pay y'all then.
Yeah, you pay them on the way. So how experienced in flippers I know have done it is they will, and this all depends on your crew, how fast they work, a lot of different factors. If you can get a good crew in there and they're moving quickly and you hit checkpoints every week, you can essentially pay your guys every Friday. And what you do is you do all that work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You call your hard money guy to come out Thursday, right? You're just anticipating. You call them out to come out Thursday. Say, hey, I've done X amount of work. I need a draw. They come out Thursday, and then that way the money's wired to your account Friday, and then Friday you pay your guys, out of that draw money, right? But even if you're not doing it every week, maybe it's every 2 weeks, you should have enough money within that draw to be able to pay your guys.
Yeah. Nah, I see you do some work around the crib yourself. So at what point do you outsource, and what point do you do it yourself? Does it come to budget? Does it come to like just being timely and like obviously more pieces in the pie, you can expedite things? So like, what's your strategy on that?
Good question. Because for me, it's just a personal choice. I've always been like hands-on, and I actually, I was talking about this earlier to somebody. I advise people to get into their projects as much as possible. If your time doesn't permit, then fine, right? But you want to know what's going on, right? And the only way you're going to know what's going on is if you actually are into it. So how are you going to have a conversation with a contractor if you don't know what the hell is going on? How are you going to be able to insert yourself into those kind of conversations and have input if you don't know what's going on? How are you going to understand the lingo if you don't know what's going on? Yeah. Right? And the only way to do that, most people say, oh, I don't know how to do this. I don't know. You don't have to. Just be in the project. Be present. Right. Look at this. Yeah. Look at that. Ask questions, right? So for me, that's how I learned how to talk the contractor talk, right? And most times I figure out solutions better than they can, right? And it's just all off of experience. So for me, I have the time because I do this full time, and so I actually say, hey, I'm gonna spend time working on this, working on that. Most of the time, I try to limit it to just maintenance work on the houses. So I'm the first line of defense. So as a property manager, with my property manager, what will happen is, we got a request for something, and then typically they hire somebody to go fix the issue. Well, I know that property managers make the most money. They make their bread off of repairs. So they go to a guy and they say, hey, if you got a patch hole that needs to get fixed, the contractor might tell them $500, right? Because they're outsourcing it. The property manager is going to come back to you and say, hey, this patch hole is going to cost $1,000. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what's going on, if you don't know what that work actually costs, you'll spend it. And most people do. Right. Yeah. So for me, I say, I know what stuff costs, and I'd rather do it myself than spend the bread. And if it's something small, or if it's something that I feel like I can take care of, I will. If I can't, or if I don't have the time, then I outsource it. Bigger projects, i.e. things that I'm actually currently in the process of renovating, that I have that I'm paying money for, like a renovation with hard money that has money allocated toward the contractors within the budget, no, I'm not getting there and doing no work.
I
You know
got
what
you.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got money allocated toward the contract, so I pay them. Larger projects I don't do. I might get in there and work sometimes just to learn some things,
Sure.
but most of the time I give it to them. And then my smaller stuff or houses or rentals that I already have, I go and do the work myself.
Yep. So when you're looking for new deals, like what's your plan of attack? Wholesalers, auctions, like what's I guess the top three sources that you tap into?
So for me, and it depends on the market. Everybody's different. Everybody has different, ways they go about finding deals. For me, my main source is I actually spend money in market every month. So I have a marketing budget, and I actually don't get my deals from wholesalers. Um, Most of my deals come from my own marketing, right? So, i.e., cold calling, RVMs. We do a little bit of mail. What else do we do? We've done
RBM,
some,
that's the voicemails.
yeah, we do RVMs. I try to keep things cheap, but for the most part, cold calling, RVMs, and a little bit of mail. And then I
Got it.
also have access to the MLS, which is free for me. So I don't really, if I need to go find a deal on there, I will. But
Yeah.
that's only if I want to, right?
Mhm.
I'm paying for marketing, so I choose the stuff that I'm paying for first, and then if I'm desperate for a deal, then I'll go on the MLS and find one. But no,
Yeah.
I don't buy from wholesalers.
No.
No, because I know the numbers, I know how to run numbers, and most of the time, most wholesale deals are trash. Well, not
Yeah.
trash. Let me not say that, but most wholesale deals the prices are overinflated.
What about auctions?
Auctions are actually something I want to get into. I don't know if Danielle's on the phone, I mean, on the line because she was here. But she is somebody out here in Baltimore that actually likes auctions. She's bought a couple houses via auction. I actually would like to get into auctions because there's a lot of good inventory there, especially cheaper pricing. It's just you got to be able to run numbers kind of quickly or do the research beforehand. So a lot of times they'll give you a list of houses that are going to be going up for auction. Make sure you do the homework before you get to the auction. So when that house pops up, you know the numbers and you know what number you can go, what number you need to stop at if somebody's trying to outbid you.
Hmm.
You don't want to be
So
stuck with the one that's, you don't want to be stuck with a good deal. It was a good deal at first until somebody rose the bid up and now it's a bad deal, but you're so emotionally invested in winning or just in that house because you did research beforehand that you overpay and you end up with a bad deal instead of a good deal.
yeah. So I'm in Reservoir Hill doing some work now. So what areas do you frequent or
Guess where I'm at
you try
right
to tap
now?
into? Oh yeah?
I'm at my crib right now at Reservoir Hill. Look,
Oh yeah, we definitely got connected. Hold up.
I'm over here on well I'll disclose that in the DMs. But yeah, are you on the front end of Reservoir Hill or the back end?
Well, I tell you, I'm on Brooks.
Brooks. Oh, you're
Yeah.
not far. I'm on White Lot.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, we'll definitely connect. I want to show you my project anyway, so we wrapping up on it.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Hit
yeah,
my DM, man.
yeah.
If you're gonna be out here a little long, then like I said, I'm out here now, man. Gonna
Okay.
take a look at
Yeah.
the house and shit.
All right, good brother. Good to connect with you. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, man. Thank you
Yes,
for
sir.
connecting, man.
Yes, sir. Later.
All right, all right. So yeah, that was one of my brothers out here in DC, not DC, but Baltimore. Quan, I see you got a question. What is it? Do banks require you to season the property for 6 months before refinancing? Uh, yes and no. So I don't know if you're still on, Quan. If you want to hop on, if you're still on, you can definitely join live and rap with me. But as far as that question is concerned, uh, no. Yes and no. All banks are different, right? So I remember working, my last job working with one of my investors, and he actually didn't buy rentals for a long time because of the requirement that banks had for seasoning. And typically they were saying, yeah, 6 months to a year. You gotta be in a deal 6 months to a year in order to refinance. And if you're looking at a rental, that's kind of a long time, right? Especially if you're paying, interest payments every month. That's a long time. So, no, as of lately, over the past year or two, from my knowledge, banks have not required you to have seasoning, and it's something that's kind of fairly new. So now it's like depending on the lender, depending on the bank you go to, you can get in a deal today and refinance like next week, right? And so that's actually good. And when people heard about that change, that started prompting them to buy more rentals, especially if they're using hard money. Because the name of the game is to get in, use that bridge money, and get out. So if I buy a house, if I'm looking at buying a rental via hard money, then I'm going to buy it and I'm going to try to renovate it as quickly as possible. Let's say I'm putting 15K into it. And, if I got a good crew, I can knock out 15K worth of work in a couple of weeks. Well, if I buy it January 1st and then I'm done renovating by January 20th, shit, excuse me, I'm trying to refinance, right? I'm trying to, find a tenant, refinance as quickly as possible. That's not 6 months. And banks will allow you to do that. And if banks aren't allowing you to do it, if certain banks are requiring seasoning, you can go to what are those guys called? You can go to like a mortgage lender, and these guys will allow you to refinance into some of their products, but you might pay a premium, right? So whereas if you go to a bank, you can potentially pay. You could potentially have an interest rate when you refinance of, 3%, 4%, 2%, whatever the hell the interest rates are now. But if you go to like a mortgage lender, but those banks are going to require seasoning, some of them, depending on who you go to and whatever the requirements are, depending on where you're shopping, right? A mortgage lender will allow you to refinance regardless of how long you've been in the deal, the seasoning, but they might charge you a higher interest rate. So the interest rates might be, 6%, 7%, 8%. And you got to look at it like they're refinancing you into a long-term product, a 15-year, 30-year product at an interest rate of 6%, 7%, maybe a good one, 5%, right? But the thing about that is like, if they're doing that, it's basically, if they're allowing you to do that, it's because, it's because, well, what am I trying to say? There's pros and cons to going to a mortgage lender. No, you don't have to have seasoning with them. Some might not even require you to have a tenant in place. And they're going to let you refinance however long you've been in the deal, but it's going to come at a cost. As opposed to going to the bank, they might have standard requirements that are going to require you to refinance after 6 months or 12 months seasoning, but you get a lower interest rate. So you got to weigh the pros and cons. Would you rather pay 6% over 30 years, or would you rather pay 3.5% over 30 years, right? If you're using hard money and you need to get out of that hard money and you need to refinance right now, you might be stuck having to pay that 6%. Because the bank's not going to allow you to refinance sometimes if you don't have a tenant or if you haven't been in a deal for 6 to 12 months. So again, it all depends on what product you're using to fund the deal and whatever situation you're looking to get yourself into after you've done the renovations and stuff like that. I know that was a lot. Who else on the call? Who got real estate questions? Let's see. What other questions? Need enough equity to pay for cost of money. All right. Yeah. Who else is anybody else got some questions? I think there's only one person on here. I don't know who it is, but if you got some questions about real estate, you can definitely ask me. But in general, for everybody, anybody that plans on joining, I am answering any real estate questions that you might have as far as investing, getting in the game, if you're already in the game and you want to, get involved and buy your first house, or you got multiple houses and you got some questions regarding some experience or anything like that, feel free to, ask away or join or whatever you're going to do. I'll probably be on here. What is it, 12:46? I guess I'll rock out for another 15 minutes if anybody has any questions. In the meantime, doesn't look like anybody's on here right now, but let's see. A decent amount of people joined. That's pretty good. Oh, yeah, that's a lot. Anyway, while I wait for more requests, I'm going to figure out where the heck my contractors are, because I have no idea. And it's 1 o'clock. I don't know where we are, and we got work to do. This guy's gonna get fired. This guy's not get fired. For 2 guys give me. Oh, he crazy. Trying to figure out what other else I can talk about on here. Help give y'all some value, or anybody that plans on looking at this. Anybody got any questions? Questions. Questions. I might have to end this thing early. I don't have anybody on here. Let's see. Questions from. Oh, they got a questions option right here. I did not know that. Oh, okay. So you can actually ask questions. What up, Stacks? You at the tail end of this thing, baby. Tail end. But yeah, man, you can ask me anything you want. What up, man? You can ask me anything you want, or you can join the live, rock with me for a little bit. I said I was probably gonna go to like 1 o'clock, so if you want to chop it up, you can join. Yeah, man. It's we had a couple people come on that had asked some questions earlier. But what I'll do, man, I'll probably like keep doing this and try to, spread as much gems as I can. I'll probably do it like once every week or something like that. But yeah, man, let me know if you got any questions or you want to rap about whatever. You can definitely join. I don't care. How do you do the share thing? I don't know if you're working or not. Let me see. How do you share a screen? Appreciate that, my guy. How you share a screen? Let's see. What happens when you old, man? You don't know how to operate this live. Let's see. Oh, there it is. That. Stick up bricks.
Yeah. What up, bro?
What up, man?
Yeah, man. I see you, bro. I just tuned in real quick, man. I was on my way to lunch, man. I seen you was going with the live. I was like, let me see what's good with my bro, man.
Yeah, man. I'm just out here trying to drop some gems, man, as best I can as far as real estate. And for anybody like that has questions or Shit, you look what happened. You just joined, and I got 4 people. I was just dead for like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Uh,
bro.
but yeah, like if
You
anybody
know,
got questions, man, I just want to share some gems, man. I'm just working on some branding here too, and so just want to try to connect with folks and help out as best I can. If anybody got any questions, want to get in the game or already in the game, I know you're already in the game. You already got a property,
yeah,
a
bro.
multi-unit. So, how things going with that?
It's good, man. You know, a little rough with the on the tenant side, man, but valuable lesson. I think I told you about this before, bro. Um, but yeah, like I said, man, you gave me some good tips on how to get started. You know, I just moved down to the Atlanta area, so
Congrats.
yeah, bro, trying to leverage. You know, my biggest thing is like finance options right now, and then contractors.
Yeah.
I use some of that conversation we had before, bro. I really appreciate that, man. I definitely that dream kind of gave me that boost, that motivation, man. And
Yeah.
I'm
You you
I'm
you
ready.
you dealing with the same problems a lot of people are having right now. Um,
Yeah.
as far as the financing options, what are some of the things you're considering?
Well, like definitely, I'm looking into the. I used to run away from that hard money stuff, man. But you told me, that's the biggest thing is quick. I mean, the amount of time it's going to take to go through a traditional loan versus getting a good relationship with a hard money lender
Yep.
and then finding good contractors, bro. It's
Yep.
all about speed, man.
Yep. The hard money is nothing but quick. It's quick, accessible bread
Right,
that you
right,
can
man.
use to fund your deal. Like I was telling people earlier on the live, it's just bridge money, right? And so, whereas a bank is going to give you, you're not going to be able to close on that house for 45 to 60 days. You can close using hard money in 2 weeks,
Mhm.
sometimes even sooner than that. So, hard money is a good thing. It just comes with the premium that you're going to pay due to the accessibility of the bread. You know what I'm saying? And the
Yeah,
contractor thing, bro,
it's well worth it. It's well
yeah,
worth it, bro.
the contractor thing, man, is something that even I to this day am still going through. I don't have perfect crews and things like that. Bobby, I'll answer your question. I don't have perfect crews. I just fired some guys, not today, but the other day. It's tough, man. It's tough to find good work, good people. But the
Yeah.
vetting process is the most important thing. Spend more time vetting a contractor. What's the saying? Spend more time vetting a contractor than quickly hiring them. You get what I'm saying? Take more time to vet somebody than to quickly hire somebody, because if you quickly hire somebody, you're going to find yourself in a predicament where you're dealing with some dirt
Mhm.
bags sometimes. So it's
Yeah.
tough, man. There's no secret key to finding great guys. A lot of it, from my experience and learning from other guys, is you have to mold these guys to be who you want them to be, and it comes with some responsibility on their part. They have to be, accountable of themselves. They got to do good quality work, but the relationship's got to be built, and you don't just come across A and B type contractors. Most of the time, you got to run into C, D, F type contractors, and a lot of times you got to mold those guys, man.
Right.
It takes a lot. It's just like
Yeah, man. So that's
it's
on
just
my
like
side,
managing a
man. I'm
crew.
used to dealing with I'm used to dealing with, like I said, the commercial side. The commercial contractors, the big wig guys. They get these fat contracts. They do whatever, they do whatever you want using your own personal
Hmm.
money. On a residential side is a little bit different. So you got to find that contractor that's going to, deliver and he's going
Yeah,
to be reliable and all that good stuff, man. So took
yeah.
all that,
Once
took a lot from you,
Yeah, once you
from the
once
convo,
you
bro.
once you interview a couple guys, you'll kind of have a script, and once you work with a couple guys and realize, hey, I don't like when guys do this, or I don't like when guys do that, you incorporate that into the actual spiel when you're interviewing these contracts. So for me, right now, I tell guys up front, I need you to be accountable, right? I need you
Right.
to do what you say you're going to do. That's the most important thing with me. I am really, it's a pet peeve of mine when somebody says they're going to do something and then they don't do it, right? So if you say you're going to show up at this time, show up at that time. If you say you're going to do this work, then do that work. If you say you're going to do that, then do that. That's the main thing I tell guys up front. Also, I tell them no change orders. Don't give me no change orders. Whatever price we agree on,
Yeah, man.
we agree on.
We don't
Don't
do
give
them
me the
change orders over here, right?
yeah. Don't give me
Yeah,
the cheapest price just to get the deal, because I'm gonna come back to you and say no. Include some fluff in there, some contingency costs. If it's a little bit more, include some contingency costs, because I'm not paying for anything after we agree to this price unless I am telling you I want something different done. If I'm doing something
right.
different, then I'm gonna pay you. That's the right thing to do, right? But
Hey, what? Quick question on that one.
yeah,
So, what about you ever had your contract like something completely unforeseeable? Something like do you have your contractors like do they have an inspector and they go completely into the weeds of the building, or like you ever have a contractor kind of run into something that all right, yeah, there's no way we could have known that this was there. I'm gonna need a change order type deal.
shout out to CP loves you. But yeah, because he know what it is.
My boy Chris, what up, bro?
As far as that, no, I don't. A lot of times, like, I put that on the contractor, man. Like, I like to look at myself like a part-time guy, but I'm hiring you as a professional. So
Right.
I expect you, and I give you ample amount of opportunity to observe the job before you get it, right? So
Right.
when you look at the job and you see some things, if you fail to find some things, I'm putting that on you, right? You can't come back to me and say, "Oh, I didn't see this," right? You're the professional, right? I get it. Like, some things are gonna pop up, and you'll have to make that decision depending on the situation. But for the most part, I put that on them, man.
Mm-hmm.
I give you the chance to walk through the property. I give you the chance to take time and inspect and see what all is gonna go into the job, and that's something that you should include in your price, right? Because again, once we agree on a price, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Don't
You
come back
locked
to
in.
me and say,
Locked in.
yeah. Don't come back to me and say, "Hey, I can't do this. Because X, Y, Z." Nah, man, you knew the job. I showed you the job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how I handle that, man.
Yeah, and it's a lot of contracts they do that on the commercial side, man. They lowball the price, knowing it just to get the job, and then here come the change orders.
Yeah,
It's a
and
game,
look,
man. It's definitely a game. It's funny to hear it's going on, on a
oh
bigger
yeah,
scale. Small, it don't matter. It's the
oh
same
yeah,
game.
man. It's the finesse, man, and that's why I say, like,
Yeah.
you got to include some more in that cost. I know you just gave me a cheap quote, but you're probably giving me the bare minimum quote. I need you to go back and add like a couple $100 to it. I'm okay, right? I don't have to add the cheapest price.
Yeah.
Again, add a couple $100 more to that, because I don't want to hear nothing else later. I promise.
Right. Yeah, man. Man, keep the little hidden change orders to yourself, man. But look, man, I appreciate I gotta jump off, man. But keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. The content is 100.
Yes, sir.
Content is 100,
that.
bro.
Appreciate it.
Hey, what's up, man? All right.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
Let's see. That was Stacks. That was Lamar. I didn't know IG has a time limit. So I actually have like a minute and 30 left, but I'll keep going if you guys want to keep going. CP loves you. Hey, man. Yeah. You know what it is, man. Definitely got to keep your word. That's a big thing with contractors when I work with them. Bobby, I see you had a question. All right, I got to get on live with my students at 1, but I'll come back if y'all still going on. Real quick, Bobby, I know it's 1 o'clock. And what did you say? Hard money. Hard money is basically bridge money. It's bridge money, easily accessible cash, not easily accessible cash, but accessible cash that you can use to renovate properties that is not backed by a bank. So hard money, you can get hard money and basically fund your renovations. Fund the purchase of your renovations and actually